Now that Ten Hag is safe, the transfer news is advancing, and this is your late night 10-minute Manchester United transfer news where we sum up every bit of information that's come out today from defence, midfield, attack, ins and outs. And I have to say, some of the stories today and some of the talks we're linked to are excited, but as Manchester United, we can't get too excited until we see a deal is done. We are linked to a lot of people, but reportedly Leny Yoro, Real Madrid aren't interested, which makes us leading candidates, and what a deal that would be. But let's start with the striker news. Guys, first of all, please do hit that like button and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more. It was said here, Manchester United have asked what the terms would be to sign Hoffenheim striker Maximilian Bier. United have been told he has a £27 million release clause. We're going to talk about him and a little bit about the player further on. I will need to do more research and analysis on the player, of course, if we do get further linked to him. But from the sounds of it, it's all right. My first choice would be Xerxes, and we're going to talk about him as well, actually, because we are making a move for him. But let's get into other information. It was said by Sam C. reports that Olise, Branthwaite and Ivan Toney are primary targets for United this summer, and we're also considering a move for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was a good player that's had a poor season for Everton that could be okay as a second striker. He's had injury issues. He just wouldn't be in my top 10 or 20 options. Do you know what I mean? If we signed him and it meant that we got the funds to get Olise and a good midfielder and a good centre-back, it's fine. Like, let's say we only have funds and we get Joao Neves, Fofana, Todibo, Branthwaite, Olise, and then the striker is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That makes sense. But if you get Dominic Calvert-Lewin and you underperform elsewhere in the transfer window, it's disappointing. Ivan Toney I like, but I wouldn't spend more than 40 million on him. Plus, he seems to have a bit of an ego. Branthwaite I like, but I wouldn't spend more than 50, maybe 55 at a stretch for him. And Olise, you know that I love him as well. But let's talk about the £27 million Bundesliga striker we've been linked to, because this is a new link. It's coming out of Germany. Bild is credible when it comes to German news, but when it comes to anything else, they're not credible. I mean, Bild was saying that Thomas Tuchel had advanced talks with Man United before anyone else did. Do you know what I mean? Like, they knew the most about the Tuchel situation. Now, in the Bundesliga, he got 16 goals and 3 assists in 2,435 minutes, which is good numbers. Of course, Bundesliga numbers are inflated, but playing for a mid-table side in the Bundesliga at 20, 21 years of age, same age as Højlund, not too bad. Same amount of goals as Højlund this season, not too bad. Don't know what kind of service he gets, but he's probably someone that'd be happy, you know, rotating with Højlund. I do think we either need to get an experienced striker that's happy rotating with Højlund or a young striker that's got a good potential to be serious competition for Højlund. I think also I don't want to spend more than £35 million on a striker because I generally believe Højlund's going to be top class moving forward. That I think that at the end of the day, like, we don't want to actually get someone that puts a 60 million Højlund on the bench when I think that Højlund is a top class player. So here are statistics. Obviously, mostly plays centre forward. He can drop deeper into the attacking midfield row and left wing. Apparently, he's able to drop deep and be involved in play, which is what we need because we give a striker no service. These statistics, you might think a 21-year-old that's played like 150 games. By the way, like, half of these statistics are from his academy days, so don't take the statistics too seriously. But obviously, so as you can see, mostly plays centre forward, but has played wing and scored off the wing on a couple of times. So has elements of flexibility, which of course United would like. But there's two strikers I'd like to see at United, Cunha and Xerxes. And Xerxes, value for money, is the better deal. Manchester United and Arsenal have been considering a move for Joshua Xerxes as a 34 million release clause. AC Milan also keen. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I see Xerxes going to AC Milan. I see him being an AC Milan player next season. He wants guaranteed game time at United and Arsenal. He's not necessarily deemed that. But I'd be all over Xerxes to United. He can drop deep. He can facilitate the ringers. He's a kind of, does what Martial did with Rashford and Greenwood to bring the best out of that front line. In COVID, he's more Firmino and Cuckoo, Joao Felix as players. Not a clinical scorer, but if you're not creating chances, I think this is the kind of striker profile we need. I'm a massive fan of the player, but yeah. Continuing on into defensive transfer news. So, Branthwaite to United. Darrell Branthwaite is open to joining United. However, United are in a position where they do not intend to cave in over Everton's demands. Everton are being stubborn over his valuation, and United's current stance is they'd be willing to offer 45 to 50 million. That does not suit the Toffees. Leny Yoro is back on the table for Manchester United after an expected move to Real Madrid failed. Let's talk about Branthwaite. 45 to 50 million. I get why Everton would want 55 million. I think 50 million is a fair deal. Everton need to sell by the 30th of June. Only Man United is seriously in for Branthwaite, which gives Man United a position of power. We're going to get into general transfer news about Man United saying they've got a 30 million budget, a 40 million budget, a 50 million budget. I think United are deliberately putting that out because they know that they want to get a good deal for Branthwaite. Ineos don't want to overspend. They really like Branthwaite, but if he's going above £55 million, they will walk away. And one of their main options is, of course, Leny Yoro. Now, Leny Yoro, I still think is going to go to Real Madrid because Dean Jones isn't exactly David Ornstein or Fabrizio Romano level reliable. I still think Leny Yoro is Real Madrid bound, but what a signing Leny Yoro would be. 18, for me, he is your Varane success. He's fantastic. If we got both Branthwaite and Leny Yoro, I'd be happy. And I wouldn't be too happy if we missed out on Todibo. I like Todibo, but if you get Branthwaite and Leny Yoro, that's two really good long-term signings at the back. I don't think we get both. I got to be realistic about the expectations for Man United in the transfer window. I think we've all got to be. But I think Branthwaite's a good signing for the right price. He's a good player. He's a good box defender. I think he could partner Martin as well. I think Leny Yoro could be an elite level player. But I think there's a bargain sitting there. Todibo for 30 million, and I do think we shouldn't be too silly and miss that. It has also been confirmed by Lille's president that Leny Yoro and Jonathan David will be allowed to leave. I still think Leny Yoro goes to Real Madrid. They're just faffing about trying to get a deal. It's like Branthwaite wants to go to United, but will we pay the price? Leny Yoro wants to go to Real Madrid, but will they pay the price? I still think Leny Yoro goes to Real Madrid. He was there at the cup final watching Real Madrid, but his agent has had talks with Manchester United. His agent also represents the likes of Joao Neves, Nuri. They've all had conversations with United, so it's definitely one to watch and keep an eye on. But as I said, I think he goes to Real Madrid. What is the other sort of general news going about? As I said, Manchester United only have a gross budget of 35 million to spend this summer. The club will hope it will be boosted by player sales. And then the Mail are saying we have a budget of 50 million. And then the addition will come for player sales. And then the Athletic are saying we have a budget of 50 to 65 million. Any addition will come for player sales. I think we have a budget of 100 million. I think we're halving the budget because we want Joao Neves, we want Branthwaite, we want to get them for the right price. Every summer, Man United say they have 50 million. I remember this one news report that came out that Arsenal had 40 million to spend. And then they went and spent 150 million that summer. Man United are going to play that they've got no money this summer, and don't be triggered by it. Don't be mad by it. It's what we're going to do because we don't want to be mugged off. And one thing Ineos want to change is stop overspending, stop spending crazy money. There is money there to be spent. Of course, how much we spend depends on sales for sure. 30 million for Casemiro, 30 million for Greenwood, 40 million for Sancho. That's 100 million raised there, potentially Lindelof out, potentially McTominay out. That could be 150 million there, plus the wages saved from Martial and Varane leaving. That's a good 150 million. We can raise 100 to 150 million. We probably have 100 million net spend. We could probably spend up to 250 million. I'm going to say 200 million to put it on the safe side. I think there is money there, but I think we just have to act like there's not much money. Now, talking of outs, because, there was reports of potentially a shock triple sale. I spoke about this in my live show earlier, but it has been said by Alex Crook of TalkSport. Manchester United held talks with Juventus over the potential sale of Greenwood. They're asking for £50 million. I think the deal will be done for Greenwood around the 30 million range plus add-ons, so maybe going to 35. Juventus seem keen on signing Greenwood. It depends on Sulik, it depends on Chisea. We spoke about all the news on Greenwood's exit in my live show this morning. There was also news saying that Ten Hag is expected to ask United to sell Sancho. I think we can maybe get 40 million for Sancho. I just think we'll probably cave and sell him for 30 million because people know that now Ten Hag's staying. There's no chance of him staying. So we're in a weak position because every team knows we don't want Greenwood and Sancho back. Whereas if we were Chelsea and we wanted them back and there were players we planned to keep, I think we could get 40 plus million for both players. I think we could get 90 million for the two of the players. I think we're in a position now where we could get 60 million to maybe 70 at push for the two of the players because of the position we're in. Everybody knows we don't really want them back and we do need to sell them so we can go and push for Olise. And obviously I said in my live stream earlier today, Olise is still open to joining United. He hasn't agreed personal terms with Chelsea. He's weighing out his options. He's been very open to joining United. We just need to offload first. But what's the shock triple sale? Well, it was said earlier today that Man United will listen to offers for homegrown players like Marcus Rashford, McTominay and Greenwood this summer. I think Greenwood will go. I think McTominay could likely go, but it depends on the offers coming in. And I think there will be clubs with some interest in McTominay. I think he's a good player for a lot of Premier League clubs. And I think that Marcus Rashford, if he wants to leave and a big comes in, he goes. I don't see Marcus Rashford leaving. And I don't think Ineos are that bothered about selling Marcus Rashford unless the player wants to go and a big bid comes in. I know he's had a bad season, but at the end of the day, he got 30 goals the season before. He's been our player of the season 3 out of the last 5 seasons. He's been unacceptable this season. But if Rashford's back and in form, there's a good player there. Whereas, you know, McTominay, we've seen him in form at his best. He's still not good enough for United. He's a good option off the bench. He works hard, but he's not. So for me, I would sell McTominay. And as I said, it was again confirmed, more news coming in on Greenwood tonight, that Juventus have expressed a firm interest in Greenwood, and Manchester United value Greenwood around 40 million. I think we'll be down to 30 million because of the external circumstances around Greenwood and the fact that he has 1 year left on his deal. Other than that, I think we could have easily got 40 million for him, but I think we take 30 million, is pure FFP profit and move. So that is your Man United transfer roundup, where I round up all the latest Manchester United news in 10 minutes for you guys. I did this last summer. There was 2-3 videos a week on days where we got lots of news coming in, which came out late at night, which just rounded up all the transfer stories in 10 minutes for you guys. So you don't have to watch my live streams to catch up on it. It is just 10 minutes, United news, everything you need to know. Smash a like. Thank you for watching. Bye.